What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. So this is a new style of video where I'm basically working alongside Gersh1 to give you guys the lore of a certain model or unit that can be used on the tabletop while I explain some stats, the weapons, and a little bit of tactics to use this model. So the first one is going to be none other than the Adeptus Custodes Vertus Praetors. These guys are super powerful, really good, and the models are just amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it on over to Gersh1 so he can give you just a little bit of lore.
A Vertus Praetor is a member of the Adeptus Custodes, the bodyguards of the Emperor of Mankind, who specializes in fast attack action, swooping into battle alongside other members of their squadron, astride their powerful Dawn Eco-Pattern jet bikes. These airborne warriors act as the eyes and ears of their shield companies, soaring over the battlefield and voxing word of the enemy's movements. Their auto senses are optimized for this task, boasting suits of data augers, optical auspectors, and multispectral motion oracles that allow them to detect and track even hidden foes. With a squadron of sharp-eyed Vertus Praetors circling overhead, a shield captain can rest assured that the enemy stands little chance of catching him unaware. Each Vertus Praetor is a master combatant who has already honed his superhuman skills amongst the ranks of the Custodian Guard. They are expert marksmen, able to place perfect kill shots even while screaming at breakneck pace through tangled ruins or dense forests. Their close-quarter prowess is no less exceptional. A Vertus Praetor can open the throat of a heavily armored foe in a single pass. They can analyze even the most chaotic conflict in a heartbeat, reacting with incredible speed to evade obstacles and run down their foes, processing battlefield developments with breathtaking speed. The exceptional skill of the Vertus Praetor is augmented by their superlative war gear, as well as being protected by Auramite Custodian armor. These warriors wield enormous interceptor lances, taller end-to-end than an Ogren, and perfectly weighted. These fearsome weapons boast adamantium blades wreathed in disruptor fields. Vertus Praetors are masters of hit-and-run strikes, driving their lances clean through their precisely chosen targets, before ripping them clear again as they speed past. The result is as devastatingly effective as it is explosively gory. The greatest asset at the Vertus Praetors' disposal, however, are their mounts. The Dawn Eagle jet bike is an incredible vehicle, a Great Crusade-era relic, brought in aeromite and adamantium. These bikes are almost as large as light fighter craft, and while they are still grav skimmers, can deliver a near supersonic turn of speed. Their hulls are phenomenally durable, allowing their riders to slam through walls and enemy warriors without being unseated, and they react pugnaciously to the slightest touch of a control, able to jink effortlessly through incoming fire. When armed with hurricane bolters, the Dawn Eagle can plow a bloody path through enemy hordes. The hurricane bolter is an extremely effective anti-infantry weapon and consists of 6 bolters mounted together in 3 decks of 2, fired as a single weapon. However, it is when equipped with salvo launchers that Vertus Praetors truly come into their own as lightning-fast tank hunters. They scream across the battlefield, rapidly outflanking and encircling the heaviest enemy vehicles before annihilating them with runs of melta missiles. Even enemy aircraft are not safe, for by combining their fire, the Vertus Praetors are able to weave airborne webs of flank blasts into which hurtling enemy aircraft slam into with terminal result. When the missile explodes, they release a specially shaped charge containing shrapnel intended to pierce the often lightly armored airframe of an enemy aircraft. A flank missile can be outfitted with heat-sinking or radar-based targeting packages.
Yeah, so just like the lore says, these guys are elite units of the Custodes. They're there to bring pain, death, and devastation to the enemy very quickly. However, they're found in the fast attack section, and they come with at least 3 models. Each one of these models has the biker keyword as well as the fly keyword, and they're really good. They each come in at 85 points or 4 power each. basic, and the weapons that they come with is just a hurricane bolter, but it can be upgraded to an even better weapon. But for now, let's take a look at their abilities and what the hurricane bolter can do. So the bolter itself is 24 inches with a rapid fire 6. These are strength 4, no AP, each dealing 1 damage, but there's going to be at least 3 of these guys. So 18 shots coming at you, maybe more if you're within 12 inches, because rapid fire you can double tap. So that's going to be a lot of small weapons fire, mowing down hordes, or softening up bigger, stronger guys for your close combat attacks. Now before we get to the other weaponry and the close combat weapons, they have 2 abilities. The Aegis of the Emperor gives these guys a 5-up invulnerable save. And in addition to this, you roll a d6 each time a model with this ability suffers a mortal wound in the psychic phase. On a 6-up, they no longer take that mortal wound. So this just gives them that little bit of spec of survivability, which is really good because these guys, their stat line is amazing. Movement is 14 inches, which is to be expected for something that has the biker keyword. Weapon skill and ballistic skill is a 2-up. Strength is 5, toughness is 6. They've got 4 wounds each, 4 attacks each, leadership 9 with a 2-up save. So these things really live up to the word elite. Now for their close combat attacks, you're going to give them the Misericordia for an extra attack, but their main weapon is that of the Interceptor Lance. It is a melee weapon that gives them +1 strength, meaning they've got a 6-up strength, with -3 AP, dealing D3 damage. And the best thing about this is that if you're charging in, you get to reroll all failed wound rolls for this weapon. So this is really great to charge your opponent and just finish them off in the blink of an eye. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite units, and it's really fun because they're quick, they're durable, they hit like a truck both in combat and in shooting, and they're just very, very fun to play with. However, we still have the other ranged weapon to look at, and that is the Salvo Launcher. So the Salvo Launcher is the opposite of the Hurricane Bolter, where the Hurricane Bolter is used against light infantry. This one is about taking out vehicles and monstrous creatures. So the launcher itself has 2 modes. One is called Flak Burst, and its range is 24 inches, and it shoots D3 heavy shots. Each shot comes in at strength 7 with a -1 AP, dealing D3 damage. The kicker to this is that you add 1 to all hit rolls as long as you're targeting a unit that can fly. However, if it doesn't have the fly keyword, you subtract 1 from the hit roll. Not that big of a deal because you're hitting on 2s anyway. So overall, this is a great weapon. And it has blast because why not? And then we've got the Melta version of the Salvo Launcher, which also has a range of 24 inches, heavy 1 shot, strength 8, -4 AP, dealing D6 damage. And again, because you gotta have a cherry on top for all things Custodes, is that if you're hitting a vehicle, you just outright get a free reroll for failed wounds. So range 24, rerolling wounds, like, that's everything a Melta weapon ever wanted. You don't have to be at half distance to reroll, you just do it automatically. So this is really great. And for tactics and whatnot, I recommend more so smaller squads of these bikes, because the more options and the more enemies, the more units you put for your opponent to fight, the more they have to split their army. Most of the time, these things are going to tear apart whatever you point them to, so you don't really have to go overboard and increase the size of your squad for no reason. Now, the cherry on top for these things is that you get a really, really good stratagem. It's a little bit expensive, but this thing can turn the tide of any battle. So it's expensive for 3 command points, and it's called Stooping Dive. At the end of your opponent's charge phase, you pick a biker unit within 12 inches of an enemy model. It can charge as if it was your charge phase, and if it makes the charge, it gets to fight first, even if the opponent charged with someone else. This will often conflict with other abilities, such as like banshees and whatnot, to go first in combat, but it's resolved as normal. Most of the time this won't come into effect, but this is really good, because let's say your opponent charges a unit of like Terminators or something that you have nearby your bikes. Your bikes, as long as they're within 12 inches, can then use this 3-point stratagem to basically countercharge your enemy's charge, and you get to go first. That's really big because these things get to reroll wound rolls when they charge, and of course you're already charging. So you're hitting on 2s, re-rolling wounds, and you're hitting at strength 6. It's really good. Especially if it's your captain that got charged, your captain can make these guys reroll 1s. So you're almost pretty much guaranteed to hit with everything, wound with everything, and just make your opponent cry. It's really, really nasty to use this. So always keep this in mind if you're playing the Dawn Eagle Jet Bike Terminators or Custodes for that reason, because it is really good. And it can get even better if you're bringing, I believe it's Trajan, because he has an ability that gets you your next stratagem for free. So you could essentially have this amazing stratagem for 0 CP. And with that being said, that was the end of yet another 40 Facts video. Let me know what you thought about this different dynamic for a video. What can I improve? What other things you want to know besides the stats and a little bit of tactics? And yeah, let me know if you guys have used these Vertus Praetors Dawn Eagle jet bikes in battle, because they're really fun, they're a great looking model, and they're really, really strong. So if you guys have any other tactics for these guys, please let us know down in the comments below. If you guys do enjoy what we do here at One Mind Syndicate, I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment down below. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can always head on over to our Patreon page, where you guys can pledge to be our patrons for a simple $1, and that helps us a ton, and helps us give you 40k videos each and every day. But with that being said, this has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.